Well, good evening back, YouTube. Took a fender wells out so I could get to this transmission. I had to stop that leak. It was leaking pretty bad. Transmission's finally out. I've been out here since about 8 this morning, maybe 8:30. I had to go get a jack. The one I had, pile of shit. That right there. This is a whole lot better. It comes all the way down. But I had to go get a jack. They're going to have to replace this seal. Took a transfer case off. Transfer case sitting right here. That top of that bucket's catching, that 55-gallon drum's catching rust of that oil. Better than being on the floor. Which, it's still bad, but it is what it is. This old gasket come off the pan back there, and she's done, which I peeled that up. It was on there like regular, but it's done got hard, and that's what's leaking. I checked these bolts. This bolt, that bolt, and this bolt was kind of loose, and that's where the oil's at. Wasn't no oil nowhere else on it till I took it down, and it dripped from here down in here. But the rear seal was not leaking. I got the tool to center that up over here in this box for the other motor. That was the front plate for that other motor, but I got all the seal. Mr. Gasket makes them. Got 3 of them for LS motors, but this is the one we use for that one. I'll have to clean up some. There's where it come off, is the back of the cam. But this bolt here, this bolt here, that bolt there, and that bolt there was loose. Far as didn't have 9 foot-pounds on it, was loose. I don't know what it was as far as inch pounds. I put it on, foot-pounds. I put it on 9, and I put about a quarter turn on all 4 of these bolts. So thinking it was leaking there. I got the new one, got the new seal. Gotta clean all this up and get back on this tomorrow, but I finally got it out. And for y'all that think it's just 8 bolts, as far as these 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, it is 6 bolts in this thing, but on that transmission, it's a, I'll show you here in a minute, but that other bolt's way up here. It's kind of off pattern. Yeah, it's kind of off from that. So, you see on the transmission, this bolt here don't get used. So you use this bolt, this bolt, this bolt, this bolt, this bolt, and of course these 2 down at the bottom. They're easy to get to. I wish I had the money. I'd get me a damn nicer torque converter. One of them slingshots, whatever the hell they call it. But yeah, you got this bolt, this top bolt, which it took me forever to find that damn thing. It's got the breather tubes. Every one of them bolts has got something attached to the top of it, which I don't like that crap. 13 on top, 15 for the bolt. But yeah, this one I noticed there wasn't no bolt in it, and I said, what the hell? Because if I ain't mistaken, it's been about 4 or 5 years since I put the one in the Tahoe, but I think this one was used. This one was used. These were used. These two bottom ones, these two side ones, and this one, and that one wasn't. But that's 04 Tahoe. It's 06. It's got the L33 all aluminum motor in it. I kept looking and looking and looking, and I couldn't find that damn thing. It took me forever to find that damn bolt up. These tubes had it covered up. This bracket and that tube. But you got one at the very tip top, and it's hard as hell to get to. And I got two extensions right there with a swivel, and you can get to it. Since this back cross member don't come out, if that cross member would come out, it'd make everything so easy. You could pull the transfer case and the transmission all at one time. Of course, I rung a bolt out, which I didn't gonna be no trouble. I rung a bolt out in my Y pipe. Rung a bolt off there. So I have to get that out. And the header, it's got the shorty headers on it. I don't know if you can see them without putting some light on them. But I went with the stainless steel shorty headers instead of the long tube. Should have went with the long tube, but didn't have the money for long tube. Long tube I think was around $500, but I did put head studs in. They're built exactly like Texas Speed, but they're not Texas Speed. They're off of eBay, but they're really good. Header studs. They're not cheap Chinese. They're made in the United States. I can't think of a company, and I had to look it up on my eBay. But they're not from Texas Speed, and they're not ARP, but they're just as good. I went on a Corvette forum, I think, and they recommended these, and they're right much cheaper, about $25 cheaper than ARP or Texas Speed. So I went with them. See the headers come down here. This one, put the light away. This one's got a flange on it, and this one over here always leaked. So I went with a copper gasket, and it stopped it. And I got two, if you can see it up there on them headers, that's two copper gaskets on each one of these headers, and they never leaked again. Two copper. So I gotta get something done. It's the last call we got. The last one. We borrowing a car. At least tomorrow we're gonna borrow a car so she can go to work, and hopefully I can finish this up by tomorrow. If it ain't one thing, it's another. By the time you fix one, you see another one. Like yesterday when it was leaking, and I pulled it up in the yard and let it sit there and run, and of course it was just, it would have used a quart of oil by the time she went to work and come back, so I couldn't have done that. Risk messing up a whole motor just for just because you lazy and don't want to do it, which I didn't want to do it. Wish I didn't have to, but like I said, the truck's got 260 some thousand miles on it, and I ain't never give a minute's trouble. Now the water pump didn't go out on it. I put a new one on it. Still got the original alternator, still original motor. Had never been inside the motor, which I keep oil changed in it, and I have put 2 new knock sensors in it, but one of the knock sensors I cracked the ceramic. Even though I think my torque wrench is off. I put I think it was 9 inch-pounds on that thing, and I felt it when it cracked. But I pulled it out and checked it with the ohm meter over there on the table, and you take and tap, I put it in the vise, put the ohm meter on it, and I tap the vise. And that thing starts making a signal, starts making voltage. I think it was 3 volts. And so it showed all right over there, but it wasn't screwed into the block. But I can reset the computer, and it'll go for about 2 days, and then the check engine light will come on, and I'll check the code, and it'll say bank 1 of the knock sensor, or bank 2. It goes back and forth, but I got 2 new with one of them to do, so I gotta pull the intake off of this. It ain't no necessity right now, but I'm gonna pull it off there ASAP. Might as well do it. Well, I got it out here, but y'all think I ain't doing nothing? I've had phone call after phone call today, and migraine headache. I'm getting to you as fast as I possibly can, but without with the nollie in back. Still got these parts, so you can tell I hadn't fixed it yet because the parts are still here. Cam, lifters, valve springs, still in there. Ain't in the motor. So I ain't bullshitting you. I know you probably think I am. And you seem pretty patient, but you know, a lot of people give you a lot of bullshit answers. Sometimes my dog died, my cat got ran over, all kinds of crazy shit, but I try to be as truthful as I can. Try to be. But yeah, but this is next. This needs to go on a truck ASAP. This is pretty cool. When I get these others up and running, of course I have to do more work, but let me get my handy dandy knife out. These little things here are pretty cool. I got this off a Corvette. Guy from put them on his Corvette, was redoing the motor. It actually takes you 1 bolt, strainer tube, and it makes it 2 bolt. It's got a little lip on this side. You really can't see it in there, but this side's thicker. It takes up the void. This side's the one that actually goes on the tube. It's the only one that holds it up, and I got to put a new seal, which I got that. I'm gonna put a new oil pump in this truck too when I change this out. And it ain't too hard if you pull the front differential out, which I will do that. Look, Rainmaker. I do keep that knife on me. I try to. Appreciate that. But that's where we're at. I know I'm gonna go looking for this thing and I ain't gonna remember where I put it, I'm gonna just put it right back in this box, and I'll put that on hers, and this one go on mine. I'll mark that my truck, but I'm gonna get another millage pump and blueprint it, put it on my truck. I already got a guy that's gonna tune it for a good deal, 150. But as of yet, it's got a new water pump, new hubs, all new universal joints besides the one in the front drive shaft. This one here, which hardly ever gets used. It's not like Amy's Denali where hers is all-wheel drive. This one is only used one, but I'm thinking about putting another one of them in when I go back. So that's where we're at from here. Hopefully I got the right seal, because you can break this apart in a different section. You got this, which is a transfer case, and then the transmission, you could unbolt it there. And I hope they gave me the right gasket. I'm getting about tired of these, especially O'Reilly's. I'm wanting to quit dealing with them altogether. I've been getting about a deal at Advance Auto anyways, using the promo codes and stuff. A friend of mine showed me how to use that. You go on their website, you pre-buy your parts on there, and as soon as you register, they give you like a 20% discount, and then every month they give you 20, I think it's 20, 10. It all depends on when it is, and I think on your birthday they give you a little bit more. So, and then they got a regular promo code all the time anyways. Let's see. I got the gasket, the Frail Pro gasket, and the other gasket, which is right here. I got the new Frail Pro gasket, and the one goes around the crank, the main seal, and I think it was like $39, and by the time I used the promo code, I think it was like $29, I think. I could get that out, but I bought that, yeah. I think I saved about $9. I bought this and some shop rags together, and that box of shop towels. I think it come up, but I saved some money. It was the best way to go. O'Reilly's, they want to give you that little card and say they're going to give you money back, but I ain't seen no money yet. I think my fire done went out. It's time to go in the house. It's a little bit left in there. It's time to go in the house. Unplug these fans that I got blowing on the heater. But yeah, that's homemade. It's 55-gallon barrel up on a oil barrel there with one of those little cheap kits on it. That's the rest of the kit. That's about all I had left over. That ring there, that pipe there. I need to cut this back apart, redo that. Got the welder going. To get the flex plate, it kept wanting to turn when I was trying to take these damn torque converter bolts out. And I took a, let's see here. I took a old flex plate off of 305, and I cut this section out of that. It come out of there, which like this, come out of there. I cut that out of there, welded this up, drew me a hole through it, and so where that on the block, I can bolt this, damn camera, I can bolt this to the block, and I don't have to worry about this turning, so I can loosen that bolt. But yeah, they sell another one. I seen one on that Corvette form, I guess, LS motor form, and they bolt up to where the starter's at. I might get one of those. I think they're about like 19 bucks, I think. But they'll give you a little bit more room. This one's kind of in your way a little bit because of this lip, but it worked. This one bolted, which I ain't got the light on there, but it bolted there, and it pinched up inside there. I had to make that because, of course, I didn't have the other one. I can make the other one. It bolts up there, but I'd have to get some precise. I could take the starter and get some measurements and make one, but I think theirs are kind of like this. Let's see, the starter bolts up like this. It would be on there, and then this comes off and goes there and clamps it. But this is a little different way. Yeah, it's just a little homemade tool. Might buy the good one, I don't know. Which this one worked. But like I said, it was in a way. I could probably chop some of that corner off there, and that would give me, I'm looking at the part and stuff through the camera, I'm sorry. But I could probably chop some of that off there and get the wrench on that so much better. But that's where we are. Appreciate that, Bruce. The thing stops like you ain't never seen now. Brake pad's got to wire in to where it was on before. I used I hadn't long put them brake pads on. Oh yeah, the wheel caliber on the driver's side, it froze up one time, so I put 2 new ones on. So on the truck, let's see, water pump, put a set of shocks on it, which you didn't need them, but when I first bought the truck, I wanted some better shocks, and I put some Bill Stein shocks on it. And them bump stops right there hit a lot. And I didn't, you could kind of feel it when you go around a curve. The damn bump stop would, you know, if you went to the right one would hit, and you could feel that bump stop. So I got them bump stops down on the front, because it's got these torsion bars on it anyways, kind of like a Toyota truck did. It got me a nice little light right there from Eastwood. I wish the magnet was a little stronger than what it is. By the time you lean it over, it wants to kind of fall when it's up underneath the truck. If it ain't on some good metal, it kind of wants to fall over. But so new rotors, well, turned rotors, they ain't new. Turned rotors, master cylinder, water pump. Of course, I done pulled transmission out of it now to replace that seal. It's going to be new rear seal and everything on it. Universal joints, shocks, keep oil changed in it. I've been through 3 sets of tires. I don't drive it a lot. Everybody else drives it more than I do. I don't drive a lot. I put a set of headers on it, which didn't need it. But I had something about these 5.3s that it was 3 of these bolts that rung off back here. 3 of them. And you could hear it, and it would make a poof, 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 poof little sound out of it, which I didn't hear it, but everybody else heard it. And I got to looking through it, and you could see little black smoke coming up through there. So I had to get something to fix that anyways, and it had a rung off bolt in it, and it had to be the one way back in the back. Well, that's aluminum head. The only way I could think about getting it out is I took a rod and stuck in there at about a 45-degree angle and welded the rod to the bolt that was in there. And since that's aluminum, steel won't weld aluminum, so I turn it about 45 degrees down and then break it off, stick it back up there, re-weld it back on till it got out enough, probably an eighth of an inch where I could grab a hold to it with something and pull it out. But it worked, and the heat from the weld helped pull it out. I know you see a lot of people on YouTube doing that, but I learned how to do it a long time ago. So I went back with studs, and they've been doing real good. And it sent some gaskets with this. Like pretty good gaskets. I think it was Fel-Pro, but they leaked even with the studs in it. So I went, it had them gaskets there, which they're tin and some kind of material than tin. But I went back with copper. And it's 2 sets. All this junk over here. But it's copper. I had to get 2 sets of them. And this one's copper, since it don't need one on that one, since that's flange type. But this one's copper. And as far as I know, it hasn't been leaking. I know it looks black, but it sets up in there. But yeah, it's been good. So I'll probably get another universal joint for that. Wish I had the money to buy a new torque converter. I don't forget what they call that. Texas Speed makes one. I think it's about $250 for one, but I can't afford that. But hopefully we're going back tomorrow. It's probably about 11 o'clock. So I've been here about 12 hours, but I did have to stop and go. Hell, more than 12 hours. I did have to stop and go get another one of them transmission jack. And this one's 2-stage, and you pump it with your foot instead of having to take your hands off of something and then jack that one. That one was gave to me by the next door neighbor. He works at a salvage yard, and that came in and it worked. And the last transmission I took out, it worked. But now you can pump it up and it will fall. Watch it probably work good this time. But I ain't loosened nothing off. And when you get up to a certain spot, it just falls back down. And it's got fluid in it. Look how long. That's so much slow as hell. This other one's a lot faster. Especially when you get that second stage. I see so much is working now, but I bet you put some weight on it, it won't work. I got that weight on it. Oh, there it goes. See how I'm pumping and it ain't moving? I don't know if you can see that. Yeah. It was descending on its way down earlier. Yeah, there it goes. I just got my hand on top of it. See, I ain't released a valve or nothing. It just goes down. Piece of junk. I know I'll probably buy another cylinder, but I don't like this one anyways. I like where you can cock. I like this head. I like this head better than I do that one. That one, you can move the transmission side to side, and you can tilt it front to back. You can tilt it like that, but it don't give you any twist. So if you need to twist this transmission, it's no twist. Well, this one, it's got front to back. It's no side to side, which you can roll it over. But this one's got the where you can twist it. So that's not a high dollar jack. That's actually, it can come from Northern Tool. Yeah, Northern Tool. I didn't get it from Harbor Freight. This one's actually a name brand. I didn't get none of that Harbor Freight junk. But yeah, that's where we're at for today. Gotta get this done. Yep. Gotta get this done. But everything else looked pretty good on it. I ain't never had a minute's trouble with that transmission, which I'm gonna say that and it's gonna go out. I know I'm gonna say that and it's gonna go out. But ain't had a minute's trouble with it. If it goes out, I can't complain with anything goes out on it because it's got miles on it. A lot. Hell, older cars I ever had, you get 100,000 miles on it's wore out. This one ain't been like it. I've been got well over 100,000 miles on it before I had to start doing anything on it. As far as I know, that none never been done to it. It's supposed to be this was built in Texas, which I think all of them was at the time. I guess it's still off, but I know Corvettes are built in Kentucky. I think these are built in Texas. It's got a stick on the inside the door. So it's built in Texas or assembled in Texas or something. But anyways, that's where we're at. All right, y'all have a good day. I'm gonna get in the house, see if I can get a bite to eat. I ain't eating nothing but think of ramen noodles earlier. Y'all have a good day. Later.